Well, first this week we heard from the prosecution that Governor Christie allegedly knew about Bridgegate earlier than he said he did. Now we're hearing from the defense as they dig into the executive director of the Port Authority, who's acknowledging that he passed off false information about Bridgegate. Port Authority Executive Director Pat Foy under pressure. He testified he found out about the lane closures on the fourth day of Bridgegate, and that's when he reversed them. But in cross-examination, both defense attorneys suggested Foy passed off false information.
Testify. Could you please leave alone?
He acknowledged that he signed off on a press release calling the lane closures a traffic study, even though he knew it wasn't true.
Today was a very, very enlightening day. That's all I have to say for that now.
The defense accused Foy of knowing about the lane closures earlier than he said and waiting to reopen the lane so he could, quote, swoop in and look like a hero. Foy flatly denied that. And that wasn't all the jury has heard.
We're in total gridlock. I'm just trying to figure out who's mad at me.
Fort Lee Mayor Mark Sokolich didn't know anyone was mad at him at the time, but voicemails from the Bridgegate target also played for the jury. Sokolich testified he made repeated calls to defendant Bill Baroni at the Port Authority, and he never got a response.
I got to talk to somebody about this new policy at the bridge. It's truly shutting Fort Lee down. I can't get the kids to school, so forth and so on.
Attorneys say next they're going to be hearing from more Port Authority witnesses, and Executive Director Pat Foy will also still be on the stand. In Newark, Katie Kairos, News 12, New Jersey. From the governor's office to a courtroom breakdown, both defendants became emotional as the word guilty was read over and over by the jury foreman. One of the defendants wept through the entire verdict. The other one came outside immediately after to proclaim his innocence. Guilty on all counts. Former Christie staffer Bridget Kelly broke down crying as the jury read the verdict. Guilty on 7 counts for closing the Fort Lee lanes, and she barely held back tears outside. She told the jury that she'd spoken to Governor Christie about the lane closings and he approved them. Her attorney says she's been forced to take the fall for him. The jury found that the single mother of 4 is guilty of participating in the lane closing conspiracy.
Bridget's not right now. We have to get home to family. There's issues we have to take on a first level basis. This is obviously very important in her life, but there's primary issues that have to be concerned about. We have 4 children that we have to be concerned about.
Former Port Authority official Bill Baroni also guilty on all 7 counts of conspiracy and fraud. Outside, he pledged to fight the verdict.
I am innocent of these charges, and I am very, very looking forward to this appeal.
U.S. Attorney Paul Fishman thanked the jury and said the case will be a warning to anyone involved in government corruption.
We are gratified that the jury saw the evidence the same way that we did.
But more than just these 2 defendants were implicated in the conspiracy during testimony in the case. Governor Christie has denied sworn accounts that he knew about the lane realignment, but witnesses contradicted him on multiple points. And Baroni's attorney says Fishman dropped the ball.
One of the things that the U.S. Attorney's Office should be ashamed of is where it decided to draw the line on who to charge and who not to charge.
I'm going to answer the question why I did or didn't pursue anybody in particular. We indicted only the people who we believed we had evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, which, as you know, is the constitutional standard, evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to convict in this courthouse.
Sentencing is set for February 21st. The U.S. Attorney says that these 2 defendants could face upwards of at least 2 years in prison, and then appeals are likely to be filed after the sentencing. In Newark, Katie Kairos, News 12, New Jersey.